We're good to go, Mayor.
And then I learned off that bike, and then they eventually sold that, and then the big one.
Good evening and welcome to the City of Groton Mayor and Council meeting for Monday, April 7th, 2025. City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Hedrick, Deputy Mayor Depot, Councilor Piazza, Councilor Talley, Councilor Sheffield, and Councilor Norris are present.
Okay, please stand and salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, recognitions, awards, memorials, council. Okay, seeing none, we will move on. Receipt of citizens petitions, comments. Receipt of citizens petitions is a portion of the council meeting where the council welcomes comments from citizens. To address the council, please sign a sheet on the table at the front of the meeting room. When you're recognized, please approach the podium. Clearly state your name and address. Each presentation should be limited to 5 minutes or less, and citizens should, if possible, submit emailed or written comments. Presentations should be related to matters pertinent to the City of Groton. City councilors will only ask questions in order to clarify the speaker's presentation and can respond during the responses to citizens' petitions portion of the meeting. Is there anyone in the audience that is signed up? No. Is there anyone online? Okay. So we will move on and we will move past response to citizens' petitions. Takes us to approval of the minutes. I'll take a motion to approve the mayor and council meeting minutes of March 17th, 2025.
So move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously. I'll take a motion to approve the committee of the whole meeting minutes for March 24th, 2025.
So move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any corrections to those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those minutes pass unanimously. Communications and reports. Councilor Piazza.
None to report, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Talley.
I did attend the Children's Resource Fair at Thames River Magnet School, and we took the family. The kids had a great time. It was really nice to see the police department there and the fire department, and so it was really great. If you didn't get a chance to go this year, definitely go next year because they have a lot of resources there for if you have little ones. So that's it.
Okay. Councilor Sheffield.
Just, I guess, a concern, I've heard concerns about the basketball court at Washington Park. They have the 2 baskets up, and I guess the nets were up and everything, and the kids started playing, and then all of a sudden, I guess, maybe they weren't supposed to be there, and I see the signs up, and then the nets were removed, and I was curious as to, the status of the project itself, why, 2 baskets were up and 2 on the other side have not been placed, and, the court hasn't been finished yet, so I guess, people were wondering, what's happening with the, with the project, I guess, so to speak, to where, all of a sudden, kids were out there playing. It may not have been there, but it should have been probably, if they didn't need to be there, they had to be probably cordoned off to where, the project wouldn't be interrupted at some point just in case. So I just wanted to get maybe a little feedback on that to where, how it's progressing and when this project will be completed. So, and secondly, the National League of Cities Conference in DC a few weeks ago. I had attended those conferences in the past, and one of the main topics of discussion were municipal bonds, which the talk is they may tax municipal bonds again. And when I first attended back in 2014, that was something that was on the table, and I had lobbied our congressional leaders to make sure we have municipal bonds tax-free, against, so the taxpayers won't be taxed for that if we have to do infrastructure projects and so forth. So now I see it's again, a possibility to where they may tax municipal bonds again. So we hope that that doesn't happen in case that the city may have to, bond again for any projects that the federal government isn't willing to provide any grants for. And we know we're in a tough situation financially right now. So we hope that that municipal bonds remain tax-free in case we need to, use money for projects that we need in the city. So, and that's all. Thank you.
Okay, so the basketball courts are in progress still. They've not put the binding coat on. That's why we got everybody off, and we now have it cordoned off so that nobody will play. We don't want anybody on there now because the asphalt plant's just open, and as soon as the weather cooperates, we will continue. But it's been an issue with the weather, and as soon as the weather gets there, then we will continue and finish the basketball courts. As far as municipal bonds, my understanding is that the taxing of municipal bonds is for those people that purchase municipal bonds as an investment, and that currently municipal bonds are non-taxable for the purchaser of the bond, for investors. And then if they decide to tax it, then that may impact those people that decide that they want to purchase municipal bonds. Okay, Councilor Norris.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I would echo what you just said. Actually, municipal bonds that are purchased in the state of Connecticut are actually double tax exempt, meaning that they are not federally or state of Connecticut taxed. However, if the bond is purchased outside of Connecticut, then it is taxed. So thank you for reminding us of that, Councilman Sheffield. The only thing that I came across in my travels in the past 2 or 3 weeks is there are a lot of questions and chatter about the seawall project and people wanting continuous updating. So I was wondering, is it possible to somewhere on the city website put updates to the seawall project so residents can just simply go to the site themselves and see what's going on a weekly basis? So that was one thing. And the second thing that I'm getting a lot of chatter about was the small business assistance program that we talked about with the American Rescue Fund. We had put that to the side and used some of that funding to purchase, I believe it was a pickup truck for the fire department. But we also said that the small business assistance program or loan or grant, whatever we determined it was going to be, we would get done this fiscal year. And it's come about again, and people are asking what we intend to do with that. So those are the two things that I've been questioned about out in the public. Thank you.
Okay, as far as the seawall project goes, yeah, I think we can do that right now. We are still waiting on a final cost scope schedule from the contractor. I've had discussions with Senator Summers in the last couple of days, and we will be having additional conversations with the with state officials to address our way forward with funding. But yes, we can put that there. Small business grants, I'll give Ron to our finance director to brief council on that.
Thank you, sir.
Deputy Mayor Depot.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to try to talk as little as possible during this meeting because, as you can tell, I have almost no voice. In March, I attended the Mystic Irish Parade, which isn't Mystic, but they do a lot of spreading the word for the community. There's a lot of emergency personnel that march in the parade, and our local and state officials, a lot of them march in the parade as well. And I think it might be a good thing for maybe the city council, if any councilors are interested next year, if we get started early enough to see if they're interested in marching next year, because it's kind of cool and people get to see who you are and see your face. And it's a fun event to go to in Mystic. So I attended that. I also volunteered at the local food pantry once again. I was looking into maybe doing some coordination with the town human services. I haven't contacted the mayor's office yet, but I had thought that my numbers of people who need deliveries are increasing every month now, and so I'm thinking maybe the city can coordinate something with United Way or Groton Human Services, because not everyone on this side of the town, you know, we are part of the town, so Groton Human Services serves our people too, but some of our people can't get over there to their office. So I just touched base with the coordinator over at United Way to see what they thought the options could be to help a little more. And so I think I'm going to pick up, but I'm planning to just drop in with you, Mayor, to see if we might be able to coordinate with them to see if they can kind of use their resources already for the residents that are in this area of the town that need food assistance. Because, you know, I deliver 20-something boxes every month now, and I actually don't think I can fit any more in my vehicle. It was packed to the brim, so that's kind of on my radar and in the work. We need to figure something out for that. But, and then on the 3rd, I attended an event over at Outer Light for the USF Iowa commissioning, which was really cool. They held a big event for all of the sailors that are going to be on that boat, and a bunch of dignitaries, and I got to meet a lot of people who were from Iowa, and it was just a fun kind of outreach event in advance of the commissioning, which happened over the weekend. I wanted to point out 2 things that are coming up this week. The Youth Advisory Committee has an open house tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So I just wanted to remind residents, if they're interested at all in being involved in the community, Youth Advisory Board is always looking for good ideas, and their open house is tomorrow night. And I also ran into an interesting event that is happening in the town. I think it's funded by gas, but there is a naloxone training at the Groton Public Library. It's free, and it is on Wednesday at 10 a.m. And I just wanted to let residents know that that's available. I know that there are, at the library, there's it's almost like, looks like a little free library thing where you can get a book, but there's naloxone in there for anyone that needs it, and it's to prevent people from overdosing. And I thought that was a good public event to go to. It's at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. If anyone's interested in doing that, you could save a life. And then that night on Wednesday, the Mystic Noise Band had their performance in our municipal building there, their spring performance, and I'm hoping that I'm not so sick, because I would like to go to that. That is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And then I just wanted to encourage residents, there's a bunch of cleanups this month, including one on Friday at Birch Plain Creek, and Friday 9 a.m. at Birch Plain Creek, and Saturday at 10 a.m. there's one that starts at Beer Brewing in the town. But there's cleanups all month long with different groups, just because the Earth Day is this month. So I want to encourage people, even if you just do one cleanup this month, it helps the community, and it really does make a big difference. I know the one on Saturday, I think, is focusing on Thomas Road, and so I just want to encourage people to keep an eye out for those, and hopefully find one and spend a few hours cleaning up, help the community. And I think that is all of my, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so for those of you that are here, your budget books are in front of you. For those of you that are not here, you can stop by the clerk's office and pick up your budget book. This is the mayor's budget message for fiscal year 2025-2026. Dear members of the City Council, as required by Article 6, Section 2A of the Charter, I submit to you the proposed budget for fiscal year 2026, FY 2026. I am submitting a budget which includes an increase of $855,264 in comparison to FY 2025. The proposed budget is a continuation of services budget that considers changes in the economic climate. This budget also follows the FY 2025 budget with funding for capital projects. The use of undesignated fund balance will be $1,500,000. This will leave a healthy reserve of 24.06%, slightly more than FY 2025. The proposed budget would produce an increase of 0.36 mils to a proposed mill rate of 4.17. The mill rate will be reviewed once we receive the 2024 grand list after the Board of Assessment Appeals actions. The city continues to be fiscally responsible. Very respectfully, Keith Hedrick, Mayor, City of Groton. So you'll have that. We will start budget reviews next week. All right, committee referrals. Are there any committee referrals? Councilor Sheffield.
Understand, I guess through an email, there's been a change in the committee assignments. Is that something that we need to address as far as, because I mean, I wasn't aware of that a change was coming, or?
You were on the original email that requested it and said that it was okay. So that's why I made the change that I did.
Oh, I was on the assumption it wasn't previously, and I wasn't approached as far as that change was going to be made. I mean, I don't have a problem with the change. I just didn't realize.
Do you not want to be the chair of that committee?
Oh, I'm fine with it. I just
Okay.
didn't get a heads up as far as it was coming. So long as everybody's on board, I saw the change.
Nobody
but
needs to be on board except you, me, and Councilor North.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody's good, and,
Okay.
okay, thank you, yep.
Are there any committee referrals? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Councilor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Hold on, I was just out of there, looking at the email. Ooh. I'm the wrong one. I am. Resolution, RA-24-9-131. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council approve amendment to R-24-9-131, allowing Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Alltech Industries Incorporated, 210 Iverness Center Drive, Birmingham, Alabama, for an amount not to exceed $465,475.50, including a 5% contingency for the purchase of 2 bucket truck vehicles equipped with Alltech model at AT40G, telescoping articulating aerial devices with ISO boom to be paid from budgeted fiscal year 25 non-bonded capital. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'm going to get Jim Robarts to address this in a second.
Change your name. Sorry.
He's going to address why we want to do this, but the original resolution was written so tightly based on the request from the vendor. That's why we came back with a revised, with an amended resolution. So, Bill, if you'll go into the discussion on that.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Good evening. Yes, good evening. So this original resolution was approved, it appears September 3rd, 2024. Everything is the same. The price is the same. There's a revision. Alltech reached out to us, came back, and they have Ford chassis available now versus the original contract at Dodge. We prefer the Ford. We prefer their front ends. They perform better for us. The opportunity came to revise to the Ford, and it'll also abbreviate the delivery date a little bit too. So we wanted to move forward with that with your permission. Price is the same, cab is a little bit bigger.
Okay, we'll open the floor for discussion. Deputy Mayor Depot?
I see that the resolution has been, amended with the information that you just gave. But does this not need to go back to the utility commission because we're changing it, or does that not have to happen?
Mayor, did you want to speak to that, or do you want me to?
You can go ahead, you can start with that.
Okay, thank you. So we'd brought that up in discussion earlier today before coming to the council, and we felt that the change is so small, the price didn't change at all, the chassis is the same, the truck is rated the same. 80% of the vehicle is identical to the package that we're ordering from Altech. It's truly just Ford badge on the truck versus a Dodge badge. And we wanted to become forthcoming, we wanted to come forward, make sure that that was clear. As the mayor mentioned earlier, the original resolution spoke exactly to Dodge 5500 or whatever vehicle, and that truly is not the case anymore. It's a Ford F550, same rated gross vehicle weight and everything. It's just honestly a Dodge to Ford.
So when this was originally brought to me, I went through what is the change? The only change was the body. And so since the price didn't change, at one point, I wasn't going to bring it to the council, but because the council had approved that resolution with a specific language, and we were going to need to change the language because of the body, I decided to bring it to the council, the final approving body, for this resolution. So that's why we did what we did.
It doesn't have, yep, I'm sorry. Did you want to go?
I'm sorry.
Deputy Mayor Depot.
So when but if the procedure is that the utility commission has to approve it before we approve it, do they not also have to approve amendments before we approve amendments to the resolutions? I understand that this one makes sense. 100% I'm on board with changing the, type of vehicle we're buying. If the, the department likes it better, the truck is better, we get it faster, all those things make sense. My question is more on the procedure. If we don't have to bring this back to the utility commission to amend the resolution, then are there other resolutions, if we amend them, that don't have to go back to the utility commission, or are we not violating, but are we changing the procedure just because this one is cut and dry, or is it because we don't have to bring an amendment back to the utility commission? I think that's my question.
In the past, we have not brought amended procedures or amended resolutions back to the utility commission. If it were enough of a change, and that's subject to interpretation, then I would probably bring it back to them. But all this was that the manufacturer reached out to us and said, look, we have this instead of that, and that's why we're bringing it to council. If council is unhappy,
An amendment has to go back to the utility commission.
say again?
There is no policy or procedure that says an amendment has to go back to the utility commission.
To my knowledge, there's not. Are you aware of?
I am not aware of one, no.
Okay. But if the council is uncomfortable with this, I'll pull this resolution and the next resolution, take it back to the utility commission. We do have a utility commission meeting on Wednesday, and we'll run it back through them. I don't have an issue with that. Deputy Mayor Depot.
So my other question is, does that mess up the timeline for receipt of the vehicles? Because I obviously don't want to do that. I'm not trying to mess up the timeline, but if it doesn't mess up the timeline, I think procedurally, if someone were to in 2 years look back at this resolution and go, well, why are we using utility commission approval of something different? If it has to be approved by us to amend it, then why would the utility commission also have to approve the amendment?
I will speak to, could it impact the schedule? It could. So they called us, they had a couple of vehicles, became available. Right after COVID, people were locking in purchases, you know, on, a lot of them under speculation, because they were afraid they weren't gonna be able to get the vehicles. That's how these kind of popped up. Two became available. We have a pretty decent relationship with Alltech. They contacted us and said, we have 2 trucks. It really is, if you don't take them, it'll be probably someone else is gonna take them. So I'd be hesitant to defer it if possible. It truly is, in my mind, a like for like, you know, the same rating for the chassis, same everything, same price. It happens here and there on occasion. We just got a great opportunity. It's a better truck, the same fixed price, and we were asked to move on it swiftly if we were possible to do so.
Okay, what if we did this? What if, and we have done this in the past, what if we amended the resolution to say pending Groton Utility Commission approval? And then you guys, if you want to approve it tonight, you can approve it. We could bring it to the Utility Commission on Wednesday. And if they approve it, it's approved. And if they don't, then it's not.
That sounds good to me.
Okay,
Thank you.
so, all right, so where do we go here? I'll need, let's see, what do we need? So procedurally, we will need to amend the motion to add, so after capital, we put a comma there, pending Groton Utility Commission approval. City Clerk, does that make sense?
Not in the whereas, you want it in the therefore?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have it, I'm looking at the end of the very first one. So therefore be it resolved, it talks about paid from budgeted FY '25 non-bonded capital. And then I was just gonna say, put a comma, so get rid of the period, put a comma there and say pending Groton Utility Commission approval.
Okay.
Will that work? Okay? Somebody's gonna need to make, I can't make that motion, somebody will need to make that motion.
I'll make a motion for that amendment.
Okay?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second, so we're gonna vote on the amendment, and then we will vote on the amended motion. Okay? All right. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
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 Okay? So the motion passes unanimously. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Okay? All in favor of this resolution, say aye.
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 Okay? Motion passes unanimously. All right, stay there, don't go anywhere, we got a couple more. All right, Councilor Talley?
Okay, resolution RA-24-1-1. No, that's what
Yes,
you
ma'am.
just did.
No, that's it,
That's
you're
it.
right.
That's it for me, I believe.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, you're
Okay,
good.
okay. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council approve amendment to R-24-1-1, authorizing a contract with Pelletier Construction Management, 67 West Main Street, Suite 411, Clinton, Connecticut, 06413, for the replacement of windows, storefront, and concrete entrance at 295 Meridian Street, Groton, for a total cost of $621,699.00,
Yeah,
to include a contingency of $62,169, for a total contract cost not to exceed $683,868.00, to be paid from capital reserve funds. I so move.
Second.
okay, this is for the contingency for Pelletier, this was discussed during committee of the whole, is there any additional discussion? Okay, Deputy Mayor Depot.
I just want to say that, we did ask for additional information after last meeting, and we did receive it, and I reviewed all that. I'm happy to add a contingency to this, item. I would like, it does appear to be, it is past the projected schedule of the, in the contract it said they were planning to take 365 days max to do the project. We all understand project delays or whatever, but I would like to hopefully get, an update as soon as progress significant progress is made or the project is finished. I forget what the expected, finish date was gonna be.
April
It's still gonna be
16th.
finished in April,
Hold
if
on,
I remember
hold on.
correctly. Is that right?
All right. That's your question, okay. Bill, you have the floor.
April 16th, projected finish date.
So if we could get,
So currently,
maybe at the last committee of the whole, so that's like 2 weeks later, get a, just a 20-minute report that it's done, how, if it came in over budget, under budget, like those kind of things, if we could get that, report, fairly soon after the project is done, that would be, I would appreciate that.
okay, currently, we are in the window replacement project, we're about somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 completed. Everything is going okay. There has been a couple things that will fall under a punch list that'll be completed. But so far, everything is working okay and is doing okay. But like I said, we got about half or a little more of the windows to do, and that's why we wanted to get this done. Okay, any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Sheffield, you don't have anything else, right? Okay, thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. Resolution R-25-04-25. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Wesco Distribution, 12 Industrial Road, Milford, Massachusetts, for an amount not to exceed $156,224.20, including a 10% contingency for ERMCO transformers to add to Groton Utility stock to be paid from fiscal year '25 electric bond, non-bonded capital. I so move.
We have a motion and a second. This is discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Norris?
R-25-04-26, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council will authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Wesco Distribution, 12 Industrial Road, Milford, Massachusetts, for an amount not to exceed $162,844.00, including a 10% contingency for Eden Cooper transformers to add to Groton Utilities stock to be paid from fiscal year '25 electric non-bonded capital. I so move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Counselor Piazza.
Deputy Mayor's not going to read one?
Oh, I'm sorry, Deputy Mayor Depot. My apologies.
That's great. Resolution R-25-4-27. Therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to Graybar Electric, 80 Pepsi Road, Manchester, New Hampshire, for an amount not to exceed $458,755.95, including a 25% contingency for General Electric transformers to add to Groton Utility stock to be paid from fiscal year '25 electric non-bonded capital. I so move.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Counselor Piazza.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution -25-04-28, therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to issue a purchase order to H.O. Penn, 122 Knoxon Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, a member of Sourcewell, a cooperative purchasing program through the state of Connecticut, for amount not to exceed $112,357.00. including a 5% contingency, to purchase a Caterpillar 306 CR Mini hydraulic excavator to be paid from the water non-bonded capital. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Councilor Talley?
Resolution R-25-04-29. Therefore, be it resolved that the mayor and council authorize Groton Utilities Management to enter into a 3-year contract with the option of 3 renewal years for lawn and grounds maintenance with American Grounds and Snow Management, 3175 Gold Star Highway, Groton, Connecticut, for a contract amount of $100,000 and no cents per year for Groton Utilities properties. Cost to be shared between the Water Division and the Electric Division, to be paid from the approved year's operating budgets. I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This was discussed during the committee of the whole. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Clerk Pickera. Okay, thank you all.